Meghan Markle and Prince Harry stripped of their royal titles. We want to know what you think about that. But also, we're going to tell you what we think about that. Welcome everyone everywhere to the Elite Thinking Club. I'm Chris Jules Julian and I'm joined today by Lucas and Liz.
Oh, you're right.
Hey.
And Meghan Markle, Prince Harry stripped of royal titles. I mean, come on. Like, we got a lot to say about this. I know you probably have a lot to say about this too. But before we go into it, guys, I just want to say, before we begin, there's a couple house rules that we need to establish, just so we're clear. You cannot change anything unless you're willing to understand it. And you cannot understand it unless you're willing to explore it. A good debate doesn't get ugly. We may talk of things that make people feel vulnerable. Beliefs held sacred may be challenged because of life experiences. We are not trying to make people wrong or incite riot, but simply explore. Welcome to the Elite Thinking Club. So yeah, all right, let's go in with this. First and foremost, the big question is, was this voluntary? Was it voluntary? Would like Meghan and Harry actually want this? Because the word stripped from their titles, that's like someone took it from them. However, if it was something they wanted, it's not then stripped, is it? It's like they chose.
I think it's probably kind of a process because I think it was voluntary, kind of, because they moved away and they kind of said that they were kind of removing themselves from the establishment that is the royal family and moved to California, and they didn't want to have to do the royal duties anymore. So I think this news is kind of probably the confirmation from the palace that they have been stripped. I think the word stripped has come more from the media, but I think the way they went, the process, to me, I think it kind of, I don't think they're bothered.
No,
because I think that's what they wanted. They wanted to be away from it and to be able to have a normal-ish life, as normal as they could. Yeah.
Lucas, what do you think about this?
I think that it was voluntary. I don't think it was stripped in a sense. I think they did want it. And I think there's a lot of reasons why they wanted it. And I agree with, I'm going to take Harry and Meghan's side on this.
I'm with you on that, Lucas, 100%.
All right, so like, okay, I'm with you on that too. Yeah, if the Queen knocked on my door, I said this in a previous episode. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go back to it. I don't know which one it was, but if the Queen knocked on my door, I wouldn't really care. Of course, I'll get a selfie and I'll be like, "Yo, Queen's at my door" and whatever. But if she said, "Can I come in?" I'll be like, "No, I don't think so. I don't know you like that." Do you know what I mean? Not being funny. But if Meghan and Harry knocked on my door, the door's open, bro. Don't even got to knock. You come in. It's, hey, there's a sofa. Chill. Tea. Yeah. Happy days. I'm kind of for them. Do you know what I mean?
Whereas I don't know why. I just feel like they're more relatable because or relative to myself, because they just want to be able to get on with their lives. And I think we should all have the right to be happy and the right to be able to live the lives that we want in the direction we want to go. I don't believe we should be dictated to or, have to live for others. We're all individuals. And also, I think it's very easy to make a judgment based on the information that we're fed via the media on somebody. And to be honest, a prime example, unfortunately, is Harry's mother, Dianna.
Right, Liz, I just want to stop you there on that. We're going to definitely come back to that. And I love that you said that. I actually love that you said it, because you mentioned three things that I want to definitely dive into what you just said, like the media, Harry's mother, and obviously royal duties. So he's born into it. He didn't really have a choice. And this is what I wanted to say. I don't see the Queen as the same as me, and she probably doesn't either. I'm not being funny. She might, acknowledge me as a human being, like I'm here, but she won't really value me on the same sort of level. I don't mean to say this like I'm a pauper and she's like that, but I don't know. She might view me like that. She might actually view me like, lesser being because you're peasant or whatnot. And that's why she ain't coming in my house. Because when I talk about Meghan and Harry, I can feel that they feel how I feel. How can the Queen possibly know how I feel? But whereas I see them two and I get this feeling like, you're welcome here because you welcome me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel welcome around them. Whereas if I was in front of the Queen, bro, I've got to bow. Not that I don't have to bow. I don't want to bow. What the fuck? No, sorry, but that's how I feel. Anyone that makes me feel like I'm inferior to them in that sense, then no, thank you. Not part of my life. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh man, Lucas, what do you think
Absolutely.
about that?
And
Liz, I promise you, we will come back to what you said. 100%, 100%.
I'm going to stand with. I think it's the first time actually we've all agreed on the same topic. So yeah, I'm going to still stand by Harry and Meghan, and I think that even though they've been born into it and they haven't had a choice, now is the time where they have had that choice. And Harry doesn't want to repeat what's already happened because it was hard enough for him to deal with when his mum passed away. And then with the
absolutely.
media being the main cause of it, and then being
Mhm.
able to go into that and making all these documentary series and all these things about his mum, and he's obviously going to be able to watch that as well.
Right.
And
Exactly.
Okay, I know you guys are itching to talk about it, and we're definitely going to touch on it, guys. I know. Okay, if you're listening right now, you know what we're talking about. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. You know what to do. You know how to do it, guys. Okay, so let's just establish one thing too. To be stripped of a title by who? By who? All right. This is what I'm saying. I will give them the title. They're
But
still in my
even
eyes.
though they've been stripped,
One.
let's be honest here, he's still part of the family, royal family.
Right.
He's royal blood. So like if something happens to him, they're not just going to allow him to have like a normal funeral, or he's just gone, like he's never going to be acknowledged. Of course he is.
Exactly.
You know,
And
he
it's like Kanye West said in a song once, right? He goes trying to win something we already have, trying to be something we already are. You know what I mean? Likes and I forget the song lyric, right? But it's a song called Ego, and it's flipping awesome. I love it. It's got Ty Dolla Sign, I think, in it, and someone else. But basically, he's basically presenting that we are established ourselves. We don't need you to tell us who we are. So this stripped of title thing is like, what? Behave yourself. I can call myself king. He can call
and
himself king, prince, whatever.
exactly. And
Like,
like she wasn't born into it, but she's had to. Can you imagine like having a normalish life? I know that she was an actress, but can you imagine having a normalish life and then being catapulted into that life? Because when they were dating and they got engaged, it probably wasn't, she didn't feel the enormity of it. But then obviously once they were married, it was like, boom,
yeah,
like a volcano, and it was every day. And you can be the strongest person, you can have the strongest mind, the
right,
strongest mindset, the
right, yeah.
strongest morals, everything, but every day reading about yourself,
Go on.
every day being attacked or
Yeah.
compared to somebody else, it's hard. And
And also, it's
I
not really
would
fair because they're probably
it's
saying
not
stuff about
fair.
you that ain't what you are. That's like me writing something
Exactly.
about you guys, and it's like, hold on, why don't you speak to them? It's like,
Somebody said to me the other day about her, nobody likes her. And I said, I do. I said, and
right,
I asked the question, I said, why don't you like her?
thank you.
Oh, because she preaches, and because she's preaching but doing. I said, what is it she's preaching about? What is it you don't like about her? And I just turned around and I said, I'm going to say I like her. One, because I don't know her.
Mm-hmm.
I like what she stands for personally. I like that she has brought a lot of things that have never been brought into the royal family before.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that she's not afraid to say, no, no, thank you. We're not
Correct.
doing that. I like that. She's got gumption. And I think, I don't know if it's because she's a woman. I don't know if it's because she's mixed race. I don't know if it's because the media and how they've played her, but some people just don't like it when someone's got a bit of gumption and they're like, no.
She's not
So
controllable,
no,
and she shouldn't.
that's it. And
No
she's
human.
unpredictable. She's
Yeah.
unpredictable.
Exactly. No human should be made to feel like someone else controls them. You're not a pawn.
Absolutely.
You're not a thing that,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? You're not a puppet on a string. And I think that right there is where we're going with this, right? When I spoke about how he's born into it.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very difficult when you're born as a puppet. Now that's not cool
Mm-hmm.
because like you didn't ask for that. We have a choice. As I say, the people of the public, we have a choice. Like if I want to wake up tomorrow and I want to be a different version of me, that's my choice. I can do that, and there's not a lot of restriction there. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're constantly monitored on your etiquette, how you speak, how you appear, who your circles are in the public eye, there's a
Every
lot
move
of
you make.
restrictions. Yeah, like by the way, you're scheduled to go to this place in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wanted to watch the Arsenal match in 2 days. You got to miss that, man. We're going here. You know what I mean? Tough life, man. Tough life. Lucas, what do you think?
The only thing I would say was, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. George, you were in the army, you might be able to give a bit more information, but he went through Sandhurst.
Yeah, officer.
Yeah, so he's been through Sandhurst, and I think he had the title of executive SAS officer.
Right.
And that is one of the most prestigious titles you can get in the SAS. And he has turned that down, and that is something that you don't turn down. And that's the only thing that I'd say maybe you could have gone about that a different way. But other than that, I'm completely with Harry. Like, he's not gonna.
But did he have to do that though? Like, behind the scenes, was he made to do that? And we're just seeing
he's moved to
a different
the States, hasn't he? So I think I don't think he has any intention of coming back. He didn't want to have this title and then be basically on a string. If they need him, he has to come back. So I think he turned that down. I don't know the 100%, and this is my assumption. So anyone listening, you can pull me up on this and correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that he's not in line to be king, and he just wants to live a normal life to a certain extent, where he doesn't get followed around by loads of people and media. Obviously, he's still going to get the media and stuff in the States, but it's not going to be to the extent that he has out in the UK.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm going to bounce on what you just said there, Lucas, about the military. Being an ex-infanteer myself, when you go up the ranks, rank comes with responsibility, and it's a hell of a lot of responsibility, even from the sub levels of, like, junior officer and, NCO, a non-commissioned officer. You still have a level of responsibility. Like, you have other people's lives. You gotta think about that, and to be given, not say given, earn yourself a title like that, a position like that. Then I think Harry knew, you know what, I might be Prince Harry, but I'm not flipping. Give me a famous person from the SAS. Give me someone tough. But it's very, very. There's a difference between being given that rank and actually and knowing what to do. You don't just put anyone in those positions to make those decisions, especially if you haven't seen a lot of combat, if you haven't been like where most veterans have been. To have that title, I think you should be at least in the military for 20 years. 20 years. And I think you should be on the ground. I think you should have seen all of what being a soldier is before you can ever be in a position like that. Because one thing that used to rile me up a lot was we were getting orders from people that weren't on the ground. Now, granted, you need to be giving those orders because you're in a position that, you've got a different job to do. However, there is a slight bit of empathy that you don't have for the foot soldier because you're not there with us. And that's something you can't buy when we talk about brotherhood and whatnot. And I think that's always the case. So I think Harry, being the moral person he is, and his compass is directly going the right way, he said, no, I don't want that. I know what you're asking of me. And I think that's why he
exactly.
said no.
And the pressure as well, the pressure of him knowing what that title meant,
Right.
and yeah, it's just, it's a lot. And I think it is, when you're born into it, that's all he's ever known. All he's ever known is you get a sheet of paper and this is what you're doing every week. This is where you're going. This is, this is how you're traveling. This is who's...
Don't mention that. Don't mention this. Don't mention that.
You're not allowed an opinion on this. You're not allowed an opinion because you're part of the establishment. That's like, we have watched him over the years.
Liz, okay? I keep feeling like you're going to itch to get there. Don't get there yet. Okay, let's not take it there yet.
No, all I'm just saying is we've watched him over the years be a little bit different and himself. So we've seen all of the tabloids when he was a teenager coming out of the clubs in the West End, and he even went to, Halloween party dressed a certain way, and there was all the scrutiny about that. He was a kid, Do
you remember the one time that they found a dead pigeon on the grounds of the palace? It was shot by an air rifle. Now, who would have an air rifle in the palace? Do you remember that one? Look that one up.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, they found a dead pigeon shot with an air rifle on the palace grounds. That was brilliant. I thought, yes, Harry. Well, I wasn't vegan back then, but when I could, I was like, he shot himself a pigeon. Why not? F it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. Okay. I know we want to take it there, so I'm gonna take it there. Watching what you say, and I know you mentioned it earlier, Liz, in the conversation that We don't know what happens behind the scenes. We actually don't know what was
Mm-hmm.
said. Was it something that he was given? But they also said when you're given it, you have to turn it down. That's the script. Go with the script. So
Mm-hmm.
the only information we really truly get is word of mouth, which can also be just, you know, idle gossip, but media
Mm-hmm.
influence into people's decisions. So the media play a
Mm-hmm.
huge part into how you are viewed by the public. You can be loved and still spun to be hated. Like we've seen this
Mm-hmm.
with Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? It's something
Mm-hmm.
horrendous what happened to that man. Now let's not get there. I'm not going on a tangent. But now I would love for you guys to go in with what you feel that the media are doing. Because I know, Liz, you're very, very full. Like you're itching to say this sort of stuff. So go on. There we go. Here we go.
Well,
Let's have it.
I just I just feel like I don't know them. I don't have to live their life day by day. So I feel like as well, we are, you know, fed this spiel from the media because I think the media kind of feel like they're the judge and the juror. They decide whether we're going to like her, whether we're not going to like her, whether we're going to
Mm,
hate her. And I
mm.
think we
Talking
all
about
have a
Meghan. Talking about
choice.
Meghan Markle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not Harry.
Meghan
Right.
Markle. Yeah, no. And because a lot, when you look at a lot of the stories that come out, it is all is 99% of the article is aimed at her
Right.
negatively, you know, rather than Harry, of course. But
Right.
um
Good point.
and obviously he is the royal, you know, I know obviously she's married into it, but what I mean is he was the one born into the family. But I just feel like, you know, we all have a choice. We can make up our own opinion and we can choose whether we, you know, like somebody or don't. And like I said the other day, I had a friend say to me they didn't like her, but they also never gave me an actual in-depth reason other than, well, she preaches this, she preaches that, who is she to preach to me? And
Mm,
I just said, okay, that's fine. They never went into it. But, and I, like I said, I just gave back that, well, the way I look at it is I don't walk in her shoes. I don't know what it's
mhm.
like to be her for a day where you are constantly having to be, you know, written about in the media. You don't know if you turn up to an event, if you're going to be sniggered at, thrown eggs at, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
you're going to
Yeah.
be, and how uncomfortable it must feel to
Hmm.
not know how you are going to be received.
Right.
Um, and
By
and
people who
and
don't
I
know
don't,
you. By people who
yeah,
don't
and
even know you.
I don't blame her for not wanting to have to turn up to places and be on duty, because also she wasn't born into it. So we've
Right.
also got to be mindful of her mental health and her state of mind. When they got married, they were just a married couple.
Right.
They wanted to go away, have
Yeah.
a honeymoon, and start their life in their marriage. And to have everybody watching and everybody witnessing their every move, and then they had to go on that tour, you know, and she was pregnant. It's like her life was a whirlwind. It had gone from normalish actress
Right.
in America,
Yeah.
boom, you
Yeah.
know,
And some
on
some
every
will say
stage.
like you knew what you're getting yourself into. You knew what you're getting yourself into.
Absolutely.
But do you
But
really
I
know?
don't think the reality, no, I don't think until you actually live it
Right.
is where you feel she felt the enormity of it. And that's where we have to
Right.
understand she's still a human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's entitled to be happy, as is Harry. And I think with regards to his mother, what happened with his mother, he doesn't want to probably witness that now happening to his wife.
Ooh. All right, cool. We're not going there just yet, Liz. We're talking about media.
Okay.
But okay, cool. And I was just gonna say, I like how you highlighted how all of the emphasis is always on Meghan. And it's very, very true. You know, when you really, really take a look at it in depth, it's like a lot of the energy is channeling towards her, highlights on her.
Hmm.
It's almost like let's always keep it on her because that's now our target. Um,
Hmm.
Lucas, what do you think about it? What do you think about media's influence on how
I think
people?
media manipulates stuff in so many ways, and not just in this example.
Go
The
on.
whole idea of the media is to manipulate it and make a title that catches your eye.
Right.
And the best media companies are the ones that manipulate it the most to the most extreme, so
Mm.
they catch your eye.
So you're saying what the media say isn't always factual. They don't go on facts, or they take the facts and represent it in a
Twist
way.
it.
Yeah, they twist the facts. They always have. I
Mm.
mean, there's countless examples of how they've done it, and they've even tapped people's phones and reworded what they've said And
So I do need to defend the media a little bit here, because I remember there was because after Black Lives Matter, a lot of people's interest as into why Black Lives Matter even came about soared. People weren't aware, they were ignorant, right? But one thing I definitely remember was when the Sun newspaper did a survey on car insurance companies, how someone of ethnic origin and someone of white origin, exactly the same credentials, just different names and different national or different ethnic background, had different insurance. That was insane. And this is a fact. You can check this out. Look it up, guys. Look it up. And yeah, that was presented. Right. And this is what's so ignorant about some people, is they genuinely believe everything's fair. And I'm just here to say it's not. It really is not. However, the Sun underwent this investigation. So when they say the media take the facts and manipulate on that particular thing, they went all out, unbiased, straight in with facts. And I couldn't, I kind of knew it, to be fair.
It's good that they revealed that. 100%. And that's a positive with regards to the media. Definitely.
Definitely.
But talking about the media, oh, sorry.
It's all right, go on, Liz.
I was just saying, going on the media, on Friday, there was something in the media with regards to a politician and unlawful behaviour, which is massive considering what's going on right now in the world. And it was to do with PPE contracts. And instead, all we saw on social media news feeds online when you typed in on Google News was the thing to do with Meghan and Harry being stripped of these titles, and not this big, huge landmark, ruling in the Supreme Courts with regards to this politician, which should have probably been a focus on all of our, radar. Right. And it's how they've used Harry and Meghan this particular week to distract. Oh, let's go on to Meghan again, you see. Right. So